Welcome to our channel, everyone. I hope everybody's doing great and keeping safe. Today we're going to make this video regarding the Federal Skilled Trade Certificate of Qualification. So the reason why the Certificate of Qualification is so important in this program is because people who are in many different countries, they have real good experience in their different trades, but they want to come to Canada, and the biggest obstruction they have in their process is they're trying to find a job in Canada, but they're not able to get the job because they do not have the Canadian license. So today's video is going to be dedicated to all of those people who have real good experiences. They want to come here, but they're not able to find a job. There is a way around, and the way around is the Certificate of Qualification. So to make it easy for you, what I've done is I made a little presentation. So we're going to go over the presentation and answer most of your questions which you have about this program. So stay tuned. This is going to be a really informative video. All right, people. So let's start the presentation. And as you can see, that the company we made for this immigration service is Mewi Immigration. That's my east to west immigration. And today we're going to speak about the Federal Skilled Trades Program Certificate of Qualification. All right. So the first thing we need to understand is what are all the trades which goes under the Federal Skilled Trade category. And as you can see, there are 6 major groups. So the first one is Major Group 72, Industrial, Electrical and Construction Trades. Major Group 73 is Maintenance and Equipment Operation Trades. Major Group 82 is Supervisors and Technical Jobs in Natural Resources. Major Group 92 is Processing, Manufacturing, Utility Supervisors and Central Control Operators. Major Group 632 is Chefs and Cooks, and Major Group 633 is Butchers and Bakers. So this is really interesting. So chefs, cooks, butchers and bakers are also under the Federal Skilled Trades categories. Okay. So what is the minimum requirement for the Federal Skilled Trades? I actually made another video which is completely on the Federal Skilled Trades program. If you want to watch that, I'm going to leave the link for that on the, I think, top right or top left. You can have a look at that. But one of the requirements is you need to have a valid job offer or a full-time employment for a total period of at least 1 year, which is really difficult to get because most of these trades are licensed professions, and nobody is going to be able to give you a job unless you have that license. And to get that license, you have to be here already. So it's difficult for people who are not in the country already to get this license or get the job like that. So the second for the minimum requirements under the category is that you have a job offer or you have a certificate of qualification in the skilled trades issued by a Canadian provincial, territorial or federal authority. So as I said, most of these trades are licensed trades, so they are authorities in Canada who are going to be able to provide you a certificate of qualification saying that whatever experience you have in your home country is equivalent to the same experience which a person in that trade is in Canada right now. So with that certificate of qualification, you'll be able to clear the requirement for the Federal Skilled Trades program and apply for permanent residency through an express entry profile. So moving forward, the authority in Ontario, because I live in Ontario right now, and I'm going to make this presentation based on the authority in Ontario, which is Ontario College of Trades. But every province, they have their different authorities, and they have a little bit of different rules and regulations regarding the certificate of qualification. All right. So if you want to apply in Ontario, this is a video which is going to help you. But if you are willing to apply in a different province, my team can help you with that as well. So for trade equivalency, the Ontario College of Trade has a trade equivalency assessment program wherein they want to measure your education and your experience compared to a person who is doing the same job here in Canada. Okay, so the first requirement is the evidence of your education and experience. So you need to get an employment experience. So wherever you have worked, make sure you record everything. Basically, recording means that not just your job duties. If you're working on a project and your project has some equipment where you can take the model number, serial number of the equipment, the address for the site, and when you started the job, when you finished the job, how long that job took you. All right, so make that record for whatever amount of time you're working. If you don't have that record, start working on making that record for yourself. That's going to help you. For self-employed experience, basically, if you're working as a subcontractor, you have your own company and you subcontract your work to different companies. So you need a letter of agreement from all the companies you work with. And same thing applies, that if you can produce a list of all the jobs you have done for different companies, when you started them, when you finish them, what kind of work you did at that job, and how many hours you spend on those projects. If you're in Canadian military, again, we're not going to speak about this because basically this video is focused on people who are not in Canada at the moment and they want to come to Canada. Same thing with the refugees, refugee claimants, and other exceptional cases. The government of Canada understand that if you are a refugee, and it's very likely that you will not be able to get the required letters and the documents which other people are going to be able to get. So they are a little lenient towards that, and they would accept a letter of explanation saying that this is the reason why I am not able to get these documents. Okay, so now moving on, further evidence required. The important thing about the evidence is that the evidence must be verifiable and authentic. Basically, what the College of Trades are going to do after you do the application, they're going to call the people who are maybe the owner or the manager of the company. You need to provide their information so that the College of Trades can call them and verify that you actually worked with them, and the experience you are saying that you actually did have that experience. All right, and the hours of work experience applied to a previous application may not be applied towards the application in another trade. So since in Canada every trade is different and every trade has a different license, but in many countries it happens that if you're working in one trade, you very likely you might be doing more than one trade's work. Okay, so for example, if you are an electrician but you're also working on a refrigeration equipment or gas equipment, or as a plumber as well, right? So you cannot use the time from one trade to the other. It has to be specifically for the trade license equivalency you're trying to get. Okay, then the work experience must be in the practice of trades. Same thing goes with the previous note. So attestation letters must be written by the signatories. So what happens is, many a times what people do is that they will write a letter and they will send it to all of their companies and saying, hey, please can you sign this for me, because I'm trying to get a certificate of qualification from Canada. That's not going to work. The best thing is you tell the companies you work for, or these subcontractors, or the companies you have worked as a subcontractor for, tell them that, yeah, I want to apply for a certification of qualification. Can you please write me a letter saying that, yeah, when I started with you, when I stopped working with you, what kind of work I did for you, and put your a signature on that with your name and phone number. So that will be the best kind of letters because they are authentic, and the College of Trades can call those people to verify, and it'll be easier for them to say what you did because they have written the letters themselves. The documents must be in English or French, okay? Because Canada, these are the two major languages, so English or French. So if your documents are not in the languages, you need to get the translation done and get them certified. Okay, some of the trades have additional requirements besides the one we just spoke about, and this is the list of the trades which are under that category. In addition to the evidence required for all trades above, you must meet additional requirements if you're applying for an assessment in the following trades. These trades are electrician, welders, hoisting engineer, cook trades, tool and gauge inspectors, die designers, refractory masons, mold designer, pressure system vessels, and computer numerical control programmers. So I'm not going to be able to walk you through all these different trades and the requirements for extra requirements for all these trades, but I'm going to give you a couple examples. So let's take electrician trades as an example. So for getting your COQ in this, you need to submit the evidence of knowledge of Canadian electrical code, and that could include either a proof of legal work experience in the electrician trade in Canada, for example, as an apprentice or working under an exemption. So the problem is, since you're not in Canada already, you would not be able to have this type of experience. So the second thing might apply to you, which is a proof of completion of a Canadian electrical code course or a program from a recognized Canadian training institute. So in Canada, if you want to work as an electrician, you need to know the Canadian electrical code. So for that, what you could do is, if you want to do a certificate of qualification, you can actually apply for a visitor visa, because sometimes these courses are less than 6 months. And the law is that if you want to come to Canada and you want to study for under 6 months program, you do not need a study visa. The exception or a problem at the moment happened is that rule changed because of COVID. Now, if you want to come to Canada for a course, a study course, which is less than 6 months long, what you need is you need to apply for a study visa now, and you need to make sure that the college you are coming to work for is designated learning institute, and they have a COVID preparedness program. Okay, so you cannot come study in any of the colleges. So this might change again once we get rid of COVID, but at the moment that's how it is. So you might need to get so you actually would need to get a study permit if you want to come here and study for even under 6 months now. A note here is that if you are already in Canada and you want to study for a course which is less than 6 months, you can still do that. You do not need to get a study permit. Additional requirements for culinary trades. So we just saw the example for electrician trades. Now, if you are a cook or assistant cook, you're a chef or institutional cook, baker or baker, pâtissier, I don't know how to say that in French. So you need to submit a proof that you have completed a food handler training and certification program in the past 3 years. Okay, so these are the courses which a lot of organizations are delivering here in Canada. And for you to study and get this certification, you need to be in Canada. Okay, and again, if you want to be a chef, you need to submit a proof that you hold an Ontario Certificate of Qualification in the trades of cook. So you need to be a cook first in Ontario, and then only you will be able to become a chef. So those were the additional requirements for examples for certain trades. And then comes the recognized hour credits for related trades. So this is something where you want to pause and find your trade in it and see that if you actually have the required hours to apply for the certification of qualification. The first is, I'm not going to go through all of them. Again, you can pause and check your trade. If you're in auto body or collision damage repair trade, you need 2,000 minimum hours. Auto body repair or automated painter, if you're a painter, you see that the required hours goes up from 2,000 to 4,000. In the next slide, you will see the other trades, and we'll check an example of refrigeration and air conditioner system mechanic. If you want to get a COQ for this, you need a minimum of 4,500 hours documented work that you can show. All right, so then what happens is once you understand that you have the hours and you are ready to apply, the college fees or the College of Trades charge you $235 plus tax Canadian to do your assessment. The way they do is they don't charge you upfront. You are required to provide a credit card when you're doing the application. It takes 2 weeks to do the initial assessment. After the initial assessment, that's when they decide that if you want to go with your application, that's when they charge, and they will let you know. And if you are already applied and for whatever reason your application didn't go through, you can apply for reassessment, and the charge for the reassessment is $100 Canadian plus tax. Please note, all fees are in Canadian dollars, and it's non-refundable and are subjected to change. And application fees is waived for veterans and revisits for the Canadian Forces. So you don't need to pay the fees if you are a part of the Canadian Forces. The application steps are: first, you confirm that you meet the requirement for your trade. You go back a couple of slides and check your required hours. Prepare your application and supporting documents. That's a lot of work to do, so you want to make sure that you build your case in a way that it doesn't leave any questions unanswered for the person who's going to review them. Then submit your application to the college. It could be done in an email, it could be sent as a mail, and then the college conducts this assessment. This takes 2 weeks for the initial assessment, and I believe after that it takes 6 to 8 weeks for them to do a complete assessment, in which they're going to call you, set up an interview with you, and they are also going to call the people who you put on your application as your references for different jobs you have done. Two things can happen. One is they would approve your application, and depending upon your type of trade, if there is a requirement for an examination, they're going to ask you to come to Canada and do the examination, which you are going to have to book after this step. If your application is not approved, they're going to send you a letter saying that we didn't approve your application and these are the reasons. And if there is a reason which you can get over with or fix in the next year or so, you can reapply the application. How our team is going to be able to help you is we are going to assign a registered Canadian immigration consultant for your application. So they know the process for the assessment, they know the process for getting your IRCC permanent residency application as well, and we will assess your file and see if you qualify for your equivalency. So remember I said that you need to make sure that you have your required hours, you need to have a certain trade certification from your country. If you don't want to bother yourself with checking all of that, send us your information, we will do the assessment for you, and we will file your request for the trade equivalency with the respective authorities. And if the authority called you for an examination, we will apply for your visitor visa as well, and we will help arrange study courses for exam preparation. Since we have people who are in the trades and they've been working in Canada for quite a long time, many of them they have opened up their online courses where they will help you with clearing the examination, and we'll be more than happy to set up those courses for you. And after we get your certificate of qualification, we will also apply for your permanent residency file under the federal skilled trades program. That will be done by creating a express entry profile for you. Okay, and how you can contact us is that you can send us an email to mewiimmigration@yahoo.com. That's MEWI immigration@yahoo.com. Basically, we need your resume, we need your contact details, and any trade certification from your country. Once we get that email, we're going to send you an assessment form to complete. So when you complete the assessment form, that information in the assessment form, along with all of this information, is going to be good enough for us to understand your equivalency requirements and see that if this program fits your needs, and if there's anything more you need to submit or provide before you can start the process. All right, everyone. So now that you've seen the presentation, you should know everything you need to know about the Certificate of Qualification. And if you want to involve my team in this journey, we'll be more than happy to help you out, and we'll be happy to guide you through the program from the beginning to the end. If you like the video, if you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with people who are going to benefit from this type of work. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe, please.